Good morning, everybody. It's been quite a while since the last stream. It's not that work hasn't stopped or anything. Far from it, in fact. Far from it. Much progress has been made. What I've been doing recently is trying to get the egui version of the application on par with the cushy version so that we can then continue adding more features. This has taken a little while. Yeah, probably should have done a couple of live streams on some of the pain points, but here we are. Anyway, quick recap. What are we doing? We're trying to build pick and place machine software. There's two parts to the software. One is the machine operations. We're not talking about that at the moment. And the other side of things is the workflow. Like, what components do I need? What side of the board do they go on? What's the manufacturer part number and all this kind of stuff. All the design variant things if you're building panels and all this workflow stuff. Anyway, enough about that. Today, we're going to be talking about data tables. What's a data table, you might ask? It's a fair question. Let's have a look. So, here we are. So, this is the application as it is at the moment. It's probably changed a bit since you all last saw it. You've got a language drop down here, which works. That's nice. You've got theme selection on the right. You can open tabs and all this kind of stuff. Now, the thing that we're interested in today is this. This is the data table. Right? The idea is that when you click something, you can make changes to it. Right? Simples, right? No. No. So, what we're using for this particular data table is this crate, which I've forked from the original one. Let me just go to the original one. That's the original one. There we go. egui data tables. And it's pretty good. It's pretty good. However, for our needs, there's some issues. So if you've just got like an in-memory table and you want to have a data table, edit that in-memory things and add new rows to it and all that kind of stuff, it's fine. But that isn't the case for us. Okay. Why isn't it the case? Let's talk about that for a moment. So back to the application. Right. So if you remember our application structure, we've got a crux backend. Let me switch to the IDE for a second. So, in our application, we've got a planner app, right? And the way that we interact with this application is by sending events to it. These are the events, right? The particular event that we're interested in today is assign process to parts, right? One of the other events that we're interested in today is views. Request request part states view. Okay, so the part states view gives you the data that you can put in this table. Right, the part states view contains. Where is it? Part states, right? The part states view contains a list of parts, part with state. A part with state contains part which has got details like the manufacturer and the manufacturer part number, which we want to display in the table. Fine. And we've also got a vector of processes, which we also want to display in the table. However, there is no event which takes an entire list of parts and then changes stuff, because that's not what the program is supposed to be doing. The parts comes from files, the EDA software controls those files, and you don't touch those files, basically. The list of parts is dynamically created from the EDA files. Right? However, the processes is what we're concerned with. So in our software, we want to say this particular part uses this particular process, like 0402 resistor gets put on by pick and place, or through hole connector gets put on via manually soldering it onto the PCB. Right. So we need to be able to set the process for the part. That's what we've got to try and do. And we need a user interface to do that. So the way that the system currently works to display the table is that we first issue the event to collect the data from the back end via the view, the part states view. Then we display the table, right? But what we can't have is adding and duplicating and deleting rows from this. This is no good. This is no good for us because you're not allowed to. You can't. There's no event which lets you delete a part, right? So this is no good. But I can duplicate a part. I don't want to do that. No. What am I going to do with it now? It needs all in. No. We need to disable this functionality. One of the other things that we need to do is make it so that the UI doesn't even try to let you edit something. So the way data tables is implemented, you create a table viewer, I think it is, or there's an implementation of it. We'll dig into the code in a minute. And the idea is that you either render the control to display the data, or if you're editing mode, you render the controls to edit the field. But for us, some of the fields should just be read-only. It should never get into the state where it asks the UI to display an editor for a read-only field, right? So we need to fix that. So I summarised what we want to do today in a feature request, which is prevent new rows from being added and duplicated, prevent some cells from being edited, and disable the undo redo, because that's not going to work for us either. We'll dig into that a little bit later if we've got time. But we're primarily interested in doing these two things today. Right. Let's have a quick look at the code for a moment. So in the Planner app, in the Planner GUI, we've got a parts tab. Here it is. And I'm not going to go into all the details about all these changes that's happened recently. I'm just going to try and stay focused. So you're supposed to implement row viewer, right? And it's got various things: num columns, column name, column render config, sortable column, comparing cells. You've got various implementations that you're supposed to do. And there's some default implementations for these things. So one thing that we want to prevent occurring is this method being called for a read-only cell. And we don't want to allow this to happen. New empty row. Well, it's a bit weird the way it works. You sort of do, but you don't. Clone row for insertion. Yeah, that kind of thing. We don't want that. So we've got to delve into this and try and fix this. So in this issue, I summarise what I want to happen. So when you're building one of these tables, and we'll look at it on the parts tab. Somewhere we build a table. We do, honestly. Render somewhere. Was it this one? Oh, I can't even remember. Lots of stuff has happened since I added this code, so now I've got to remember what's going on. What are we looking in here? No, we don't want that. Part states table. We do create one somewhere. Part states table, value default. That's the value. Part states table. Part states row. Part states table. Where's it gone? Data table, yeah, this is the one. Table. Yeah, this is where it's built. It's built using this. It's a bit weird. Let's quickly delve into the egui data tables example so we can see what I was thinking when I wrote what I wrote yesterday. So we've got an example. There's a builder somewhere in this. Let me see if I can find it. No. Oh dear, I can't find it now. Yeah, there's an implementation of collect which creates you something. Yeah. Generator. Yeah, this. Well, yeah. So I was slightly confused by exactly how this works. So it's basically creating an iterator and then it's calling collect, and then this is a data table because it's given to self, which has a data table, right? So there's some implementation of collect, which isn't what I thought I was gonna see. Yeah, okay. Let me see if we can dig into this a little bit more. Okay. Because the idea is we want to find where the table is built so that we can add a flag to it to say these things are the way they are. Maybe I looked at the documentation for when I wrote this. Somehow I found this. Hold on. New table. I don't remember now. Anyway, maybe what I wrote was wrong and maybe we need to do something else. But let's dig into it. Okay, so we've got a collect. Right. But how's it doing that? How's it going from an iterator of rows I don't even know what I'm looking for right now. Not really. Hold on. My structure. Let's have a look, see if we can work this out. We're looking at it for implementation. Here we go. From iterator. It's probably this, right? And then self is a data table, and then it's building one. And then you just get one. So you get a data table. Okay. So that's what it's doing. Fine. So how do we configure our data table, basically? Let's just search this for the word builder, just see if there is a builder. Yeah. Wait a second. I'm slightly confused by this now. Hold on, let me look at this. It's using the egui extras to build the actual table. Oh, this is what I found, I think. Where is this? Ah, okay. I think this is what I found yesterday and got slightly confused. So, okay. There is no builder. So, I suppose if there's no builder and you just create one from an iterator, then the implementation of the viewer must have the configuration in it instead, perhaps? Okay. Let's start with an example of what we actually want to do. Because there's this demo example, right? Let's run this. Right, this is the demo one. And there's lots of things in here which we don't need. So let's create like a simple example so that we can say, look, this is how it's supposed to work, whilst leaving the other one alone. Let's try and do that then. So, codecs. See, it's like I was saying in the other stream, there's something about having a comprehensive example, and there's also something about having a simple example, like the simplest example you can have. Right? So like codecs, why? I just want a table. I don't care about codecs, do I? Why do I need to know about codecs? You know, it's just noise when you're trying to understand something. And then you want to have a few examples that build on top of each other. Yeah. I don't know, maybe it can already... Yeah, I don't think so. No, we definitely need to be able to disable things. Right. Okay. So we've got this example. Let's just create a new one. New Rust file. Let's go with what? I don't know. Fixed. Partially editable. Yes, we do. Did I create a branch? That's the question. Egui data table. No, I didn't. Partially editable. Okay. Alright then. So I guess we need, let's borrow bits from the original one. I don't care about the WASM stuff. We need one of these. Partially editable demo. We're going to need that. Then we're going to need a demo app structure. One of these. Which I suppose is going to have a table, a viewer. I'm not sure about the style overrides. Let's delete it until we need it. I suppose we can do this. Give it some data. Let's match the data that we want. Random name generator. Oh, I suppose we can use these still. Let's create 2 random ones like that, and then I guess it doesn't really matter what is actually partially editable. Let's go back to the planner app for a second. So the way I made a table is to have part states and processes like this. Part states row. Yeah, okay. Shall we just mirror the scenario that we've got? Let's have a look at part state. Yeah, okay. I'm just going to borrow the exact same things from this. Or shall we? Yeah, go on, why not? Okay. Part with state, and then we've got processes. Let's simplify this and just make this a string. Okay. So instead of doing this, we'll create a list. Yeah. Yeah. Not like that though. There we go. So we've got a part. I suppose test 1 MPN 1. Oh, I suppose. Sure. Okay, so we've got a part. Brilliant. Processes. PnP, I suppose. Okay. So we'll just do this a little bit. Just so that we've got some data to work with. Okay. Okay, everything's fine. So then we need to iterate over that and build our rows. Which we don't need any of this anymore. Let's refer back to how we were doing it in here. We need our specific row in order to make this work. And it's going to be a part states row. Thus. So then we're going to create one of these. and then we're gonna do other stuff. No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to use the repeat with. We're going to go. Yeah, we go part states dot map. And we need to create a part state row. With some things from the part state. And data representation and the row representation might be different in reality. In this particular case, they're the same, but we're just going to copy the bits over. Part states dot, what do we want? Processes. It's not a vector of Boolean strings. That's better. And then I suppose we need to clone it. Wait. I've got a vector string and a vector string. Yeah. Well, I guess we need to iterate and then map it. What do you mean there's no field called part state in part with state? Oh, it's called part. Wait. Yes, that's because I'm a Muppet. Again, my names and my variables all wrong. Yeah. Wait a second. That's supposed to be a. That's supposed to be a part. Wait a second. Oh. I remember now. Hold on. Hold on. I did do this for a reason. Yeah. I did it like this because I was using the radio boxes. But really I want a drop down. No, because you can have multiple ones. That's right. Yes. Yes, I remember now. It's all coming back to me. So the back-end system needs to have a vector of processes, but the UI, in order to display the checkboxes next to things, it needs to know all the processes that you could possibly have, and then which ones are selected for it. Yeah. So that's why I did it like that. You can't use a drop-down box because that only lets you select one. And you need the list of processes up front. Yes. Okay, so yeah, okay. Let's yeah. Okay, I remember now. Yeah. Let's just use lowercase. So what we want to do is iterate over these and find all of the processes and then add them to the list. Let's do this slightly differently. So this is processes. Yeah, okay. Come on, then let's do it. So we want to go parts, states, and we want to iterate over that. I suppose we can just add them all to a set, maybe. How about we go hash set of string. I'm always doing this. Probably. Let's make it mutable. And then we'll do it the boring way. And we're going to go processes dot. Oh wait, hold on. Yeah. I suppose we want that. And now we've got a list of processes. And because it's a hash set, if it can't be added twice. So now we've got our processes. Right. So now we go, well, what? I don't know, I suppose we could, but we need the two things. What do we want to do? We want to create this kind of structure, right? But do it dynamically. One for each of the things that's in it. I think using a vector here is not the right thing. I think what we really want is a hash map of string and bool, and it might work out being better. So the string is going to be the process and the bool is the flag whether it's set or not, right? Yeah, that'll probably work better. So then we can go let processes full part equals processes map How do we collect those? How do we collect something to a hash set? I'm not sure. That's what we want to do. So can we return a tuple of the things? Does that work? And then the Boolean flag is set by whether the part contains the... And then the part state processes contains the process. That might work. Something like that, perhaps. Yeah. Okay. Build the list of processes. Okay. Processes for part, I suppose. I guess technically this isn't really what we want to do, because there might be other processes which are not used. So maybe we don't do this because we've got that information already. So let's just set this to be a vector. It's fine. Okay. We're just going to do that. Because the backend knows the list of processes that we're going to have. So I suppose this sort of makes sense, yes. And then we carry on doing that and everything's fine. So the part is this, and we've got to clone it probably. Expect to be part with state. Oh. Clone that one. And now we've got processes for part. Okay. But this isn't really processes, this is more like process state. Process enabled. Or enabled processes is probably better. Because, you know, there's a flag. Yeah. Okay, we're going to go with that. And if we rename this to that, we can do that. That's going to be better. Enabled processes. So, yeah, okay, right. So you're just creating the data set for this. It's half the battle. Well, it's probably not half the battle. Okay, so we've got our data for the table. So we've got our data table with part states row. Good. Now we need a viewer. And we don't care about this. So we need a viewer. Let's have a look at the demo. So this viewer was this one. I've just seen this, so I wasn't expecting to see this. Row protection. Yeah. Not quite what we're after, but yeah, okay. I don't care about any of this viewer contents here. Hold on. What's it used for? Implement row viewer for viewer. Yeah, right. So we're going to create a viewer, but it's not going to have these things in it. Okay, so that's our data. We've got a demo app. Let's do the viewer here. Struct viewer. What are we supposed to implement? Row viewer, that's it. Yeah. Part states row for viewer. That's what we're supposed to implement. And these are all the things we can implement, which we have to do apparently. Number of columns. Well, 3. Manufacturer, part, processes. Show cell view. Match. Row. No, column. Wait. Okay. Display the values of the cell, that's right. I can't remember where the headers come from. So we've got to match the column. And if it's what? 1 or 0? Let's look at what we did before in here. There's 0 based index, fine. And we're going to do a UI label like it suggests, but we need to get the row somehow. How do we get the row? Where did the rows go? Hold on. So we've got our data table with part states rows. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Do we need to clone it? I don't think we do. Yeah, okay. And then repeat for the other ones. And then the next one is slightly more tricky. It's not going to be this. It's going to be a list of processes. So this is going to be row, part, processes. And then we've got to iterate over it, filter out, well, let's use filter map. Filter out the ones that aren't on, and then return the string. This processes is oh, not that. Wait. Why is it? Oh. I've got the wrong thing here. Okay. I used the wrong thing. That makes a lot more sense. Okay. Hold on a second. This is just supposed to be part here. Yeah, okay, I'm getting everything backwards. It's fine, don't worry, we'll get there in the end. Okay, right. So now we've got to go over the rows, enable processes. There we go. Right, and then from here, we want to collect into a vector of, I suppose we can use string references, it's fine. Well, hold on. We need this, there we go. So if enabled some process, else none. Why? Fine. So now we've got our processes. So I suppose we can go processes dot join with a comma. Just going to pull this out to see what's going on here. So join. Do I need that? No. What's it complaining about? Yeah. Am I failing to do? Is it because it's? Let's make this a string rather than a string reference. There we go. I'm sure you could probably do it another way, but it's fine for now. Right, so now we can display that. Okay, we're good. Doesn't cover all cases. Okay. So we got our columns editor. Maybe, right, set cell value. Yeah, this is a bit weird, this is. You have to go dust dot part dot manufacturer equals source dot part manufacturer clone. See, I shouldn't have to do this for our case, because there should be no circumstance where I need to copy any data from anywhere for any of the things that are displayed in this table. We're going to delve into why we need this thing and why we also need new empty row. Because what I feel we need to do is not implement these things and change the signature of these to be like, I don't know, an option maybe? Be a breaking change, but you know, I don't know. Shouldn't have to do it. So MPN okay, well, we're getting there. 2, and then this is the enable processes. Okay, and then I'm too lazy to type, so we're just going to grab that. And then we've got new empty row. Panic. We'll see when this happens. Right. Can we run it yet? App.update. We don't have an update method. Yeah, I suppose we need one of those then, don't we? Fine. Let's borrow the one from the other demo. Well, some of it. Certainly borrowing the signature. So we've got a viewer, we've got a demo app, we've got the default implementation, so now we need this. And then what you need, one of these central panel malarkeys. And then inside a central panel, we're going to need a table. So we've got some stuff to do with that, which we don't care about. We've got hotkeys, we don't care about that. This is what we want. But we don't want this style malarkey. So does this make sense? So self.table is our table, and the viewer is the viewer, which has maybe some state in it. And now we should be able to run it, I think. Let's find out. It's going to be magic. What didn't we do? Well, we created a renderer, but what did it do? Hold on. Oh, it's in the UI add block. Of course it is. That was funny. And we need this. Okay. So we created a widget and then threw it away, basically. So, you know. Okay. We don't have a UI. No, that's supposed to be inside here. That's why. Oh, it's the semicolon there that it's moaning about. Right. How about now? Oh, look, we've got a table. Amazing. We created a table. Okay. So you can click the things, right? And we're going to go duplicate. And that's when it does panicking, because we haven't implemented it. And if we look at where it's done it, there, that's where it did it, right? So we want to prevent that, and we shouldn't even need to implement this. So if we click on these things, it's also panicking because we haven't implemented this one yet. So why does it create a new empty row when you double click on something that you want to edit? Right? That seems wrong to me. I don't know what the inner workings of this thing is, but it's weird. Okay, so let's have a look. Right, we're going to get into the weeds now. So the viewer is calling clone row. Create a duplication of existing row, but why is it duplicating the row? So if the response was clicked by the primary button and it's on single click edit mode and is it interactive cell? That seemed interesting. Is interactive cell? Isn't that the behavior that we're trying to find and prevent? Then it goes edit, creates a command called edit start, and it clones the row. Now I better know what it's doing. It's cloning the row. Then it's going to use that other method that we implemented, set cell value, where it copies one thing across one at a time. And then when it's finished editing, it'll copy everything back. And the reason it does that probably is because of its undo redo support. And it needs to remember what the cell was so that it can undo it. Yeah, I can see why it's doing it. Okay, fine. So we do need to implement this after all, which is what I thought we were going to have to do. So part states row. And then what? What can we put in here? I mean, like, there is no default. There is no default. It's weird because you got to create. You got to create stuff which then basically gets overwritten. So I guess we just use empty strings and an empty list. Fine. Okay. Let's see where we get to. So if we double click things, I've got undo. Does it always let me undo? See, I've not done anything. I've double clicked something and now I can undo stuff. Hold on, let me just have a look at this. So if I right click this, I've got no undo redo here. Right? As soon as I click one of these, I've got an undo. Right? It did something, but it didn't do anything because there's no editor for that cell. Right, so we've got to fix that. It shouldn't even be doing a command to start editing, basically. So let's try and fix this. Okay. Let's do this. So in the viewer, right, and if we're going to refer back to my request, I wanted this. Is editable cell. So this is the trait for the viewer. Is sortable. I mean, let's put it next to the other is thing. So is this? And the default implementation is going to be, yes, it's editable. Right. So now in our partially editable one, we're going to override that. Is editable cell. Right? And we're going to say match on the column. 0 false, 1 false, 2 true. Anything else? No. That's what we want to do. So we need to call this somewhere. So we were here is interactive cell. Interactive row is sum and. Is interactive row. Is interactive row. What is this doing? You've got a row position and a column position. And it call I see. Right, so you can interact with something as opposed to it being editable. That's the different thing. Because you can move a cursor around using the keyboard, and that's your interactive cell. Yeah, okay, fine. Fine. So it is interactive, but or is interactive cell. I don't know, it still doesn't feel right. Shall we do some print learning here? Then we've got row col. What? Seems a bit weird. Really? What? Oh, it's done that. Oh, I see. It's got debug on it. Okay, we'll just go debug on it. Column index. What? Okay, fine. Let's have a look and see what it looks like. So we've got to try and understand it. So I click on something and I can move around with the keyboard, which is all well and good. Okay. So it is interactive cell. Why is this one true here? Why is this one true? It's a bit weird. It's a bit odd, isn't it? Why is that last one true? What's special about this last one? How strange. Maybe just run it again. Yeah, it's true again. How strange. Wait. Wait a second. It's printing out lots of things. Hold on. We need a frame marker. Stuff. I don't know, let's just say frame. And it's a macro. Okay, might be a little bit... that's better. Okay, right. Now we can see what's going on. So... it's displaying... what? Column? 0, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, right. Because it was displaying 3 of them at a time and I thought it wasn't. Right. That makes more sense. So it follows the cursor. Wait. This is like row, I think, actually. And let's print frame out here. Okay. Okay. Right. So, true, it says. Okay. First thing's true, and that now follows. Right. Okay. Now my understanding is better. So, is interactive cell is the one where the cursor is. Which is what I thought it was, but from the initial login I couldn't work that out. So that's what that is. Fine. Fine. So is interactive cell and then somewhere There was the big start the thing. This. Right, so let's go let editable, and then what? Viewer dot is editable cell, and we need to give it two things, which was the column and the row. And we had the column and the row. Well, do we? Do we have a row somewhere? Yeah, we've got a row, but we need a row number. Viz row. Probably those, but we need to do some conversion. Column and row. Is there an implementation of into, do we think? No. So viz col is a viz column pos. Yeah. Let's see what other conversions are. No, it's just there's no fine. We're just going to access it directly. So we've got our editable flag, and we're going to short circuit it that way, I suppose. Oh wait, hold on. So if it's edible and it was clicked, I don't know how you, okay. Right. So let's see what happens now. We're going to run it. And we're going to check to see whether undo appears when I click this. Now you see, it doesn't happen now. We fixed it, I suppose. This one, when I click it, it should trigger an undo thing on it. Maybe not. Yes, double click. Okay, hold on. Maybe I was supposed to double click. Yes, good. So I double click this, nothing happens. Double click this, yeah, something happens. This is good. So, editability. Okay, let's make it in our demo thing. Show cell editor. Right. So we're going to go three is going to be something. GUI what? It's not a text editor. Hold on. I've already got this code, haven't I? So let's delete this. otherwise none. Now I've got that code in the main project already. Yeah, I do, honestly. I've just got to find the right window. This one. Let's have a look. Parts tab, this one. There it is. That's what we want. No, not that one. This one. That's what we want. More or less. You'll see in a minute. Yeah, paste that in there. Oi. Oi. I said paste. So I changed it, didn't I? Yeah, these are the wrong way around. Because we went from a vector of one thing to a hash map of something else, but itamut still works on it apparently. So okay, fine. So now when we click on this, wrong column index. Try again. Now when we click on this, we can edit things. So there's also some stuff to do with pressing enter, and it renders that other thing behind it. It's kind of hard to see, but it's rendering it on top of it. I'm not worried about the rendering right now. We'll fix that later. It's a bit silly. I mean, I suppose it depends how you use it. I'm not sure what the use case is for displaying editor. I suppose the editor UI could appear in some weird thing underneath what you've rendered or something. It'd be a bit weird though. I don't know. It feels like you should either call the method to show the editable thing, or you should call the method to show the non-editable version of it. Pressing escape doesn't. Oh, it did now. Oh, it's because I've clicked off the table. Where is it now if I click back on the table? Yeah, okay, fine. Oh, what happened there? Oh no, it's right. So that's sort of working how we want it, but is it? The enter handling. Let's look at the enter handling. So if we press go, press return on this, and then press escape, we've got this undo thing again. So there's like handling of pressing enter somewhere in the code. So where we called is editable cell, the thing that it did after that was this edit started. Where else does this get set to true? That's what I want to know. It gets set there. Okay, so it's not that. There's this command that gets called, so we're going to find where that gets set. So selection start editing. we're going to have to come back to that one. Commit edition and move, and then you've got to move in a direction, and then it's supposed to start editing in another direction. Well, maybe we need to handle it differently. Maybe we need to no, we're probably okay. So we've got going to the next cell when you press cursor keys. We can solve this by conditionally adding this edit start if the new row and value isn't, if the new cell isn't editable. Then it wouldn't issue the command, but it would still move. Okay, let's see where else this is called, and it's probably this last one. Edit started. No, it's not that one. So where does the enter handling happen? Maybe it was the first one that we looked at. Selection, start editing. Yeah, it is this one, isn't it? Fine. Where is this action created? Maybe we shouldn't even create the action to start with. Yeah. So, yeah, we can't stop that command from being created. Fine, so we do have to handle it in here. So we're going to go... these need to return vectors. We do nothing, fine. So there's already precedent for that. If, what, viewer... No, we don't have the viewer. Oh, no, we do. Viewer. If you're doing live streams or, you know, pair programming, and you need to say the name of a variable, and it's VWR, don't make people's life difficult. Just use the word viewer. It's only a couple of extra characters, and then people can say it, and people can understand what you're talking about. But now I've got to go, if viewer dot whatever, I mean, it is that. Why is it not showing me the methods? Viewer clone row. Why is the autocomplete being funky? Implement row view, and row view has got the thing is editable cell. We're going to do that. Is editable cell, but we need the row. No, it's the column one first, isn't it? ICC. What was I just saying? ICR. Fine. Let's see if we've disabled starting editing by pressing enter. So we're going to move around, and I'm going to press enter on here. And then I'm going to press escape. And then we're going to check to see if undo's there. It's not there. We fixed that. Good. So, other places where CC edit start is used. So, we've done this one. We've not done this one yet. So, let's fix that. So we'll push this command to the list. If viewer is editable. So see the autocomplete work there. Why didn't it work in the other place? Stupid IDE. And then we've got a column and a row. Commit addition and move. So we want to start editing a cell and then press cursor left or something like that. So now I'm going to press cursor left. Commit addition. You see, I don't know if I've fixed anything. We're going to look for this. Let's have a look at this frame. Oh. Let's turn off some things. I'll leave that one on. Because it's quite noisy at the moment, so we're going to turn those off. We'll delete those in a bit, don't worry. So we've got frames. See, I don't know what triggers the bit of code that we were just editing. Where's those lists of commands? Oh no. CC edit start, was it? Where was the code I was just editing? Who knows? This one, right? Yeah. Like, what triggers this? Commit addition and move. Oh, you got to press shift and up. What? Why? That's weird. What? What? Oh, tab moves right. Okay, shift, tab, move left. Shift Enter moves up. Okay, so we're going to press Shift Tab. Fine. So we can try editing it, then we're going to press Shift Tab. There we go, look. Move to the non-editable cell, it said. You see it? It's gone now, look. Wait. Shift Tab. Fixed. No editing cells on my watch. Alright then. Fine. So this should be called in 3 places. Good. Okay. So I think we should do a commit at this point because that appears to be working. Let's search for all the printlins and remove them. Well, I suppose we could do it the other way. Why? I didn't change that. That was weird. Okay. Did I change this? Yes. But do I want it? No. Don't want that. Don't want that. Do want this. I suppose we can delete some things we're not using. Don't need repeat with. We do want all of this. That's fine. We want this. Yes. I nearly pressed the wrong button then. And we want these. And we definitely want this default implementation. And I suppose we should put on a return true to our editing, false to disable editing. There. Yeah, I mean, returns. We could use the same if a cell is editable. You know, that should be clear. Editable. Okay, fine. So we've got that, and yeah, okay. Expand viewer API to prevent to disable to, well, conditionally. Enable, disable editing of cells. There. Done. Right. Let's take a break for a couple of minutes. Back in a moment. All right then. Welcome back. I broke out the happy mug because, you know, we're making progress. This is good. This is good. Happy days. There we go. Get the happy mug in. All right. So what's next? Duplicating rows, innit? That was it. So when we run it, oh, there were some warnings. We've got to fix some warnings. When we right click this, we've got this row duplicate and row delete. We've got to get rid of them. But let's just fix those warnings first. Hold on. Variable does not need to be mutable. Yes, it's true. Unused variable row. Yes, it's true. Okay, fine. Let's do a quick commit, amend. Oh, here we go. Okay, fine. So where does the context? Oh, I'm on the wrong screen, aren't I? Oh, hold on. There we go. That's better. Right, I amended a commit over here. There was 2 warnings. These ones, I fixed them. There, nothing happened. Right. Context menu. Where did it come from? Is it in the drawery thing? Let's search for the word menu. Yeah, there it is. Look. Context menu. Clicked button. Clear. Sort. Hidden. What? Oh, that's the column headers. Yeah. Context menu rendering. What's this? Selection. Cut. Oh, I've got to prevent cutting. What happens if you try and paste into like a cell that's non-editable? Oh no, there's more stuff to do. Okay, I feel I might need to make a list. Yeah. GUI data table. And then what? Hash to do. No, it's not hash to do. It's slash to do, isn't it? Slash to do. Prevent pasting into non-editable cells. Prevent cutting non-editable cells, I suppose. Disable row deletion. Oh, it's weird when it does that. Slash to do. Yeah. And then what's the other thing? Disable row insertion. What? Why? Okay, fine. That's the list. And then, I don't know, maybe we'll find some other things too. Let's go, for completeness sake, disable editing of non-editable cells. Well, why? Okay, done. Okay, let's refocus. So we've got this duplicate and delete. And then it's got this Why is there a... Oh, I see. So this is like something and it says if whatever, then add it to the thing. What does it do with it? It's got a vector and then it maps it to something and then icon, label, action. Wait, what? 1, 2, 3, 4 things? 1, 2, 3 things? What? Oh. Oh, I see. It filters it out first and only returns the first things if this isn't enabled. So we need to use something else here. Row, let's go. Row, what do we get? We need a Boolean flag. Meh. We'll come up with a name for it in a bit. So we have to go, because here we've got this selected thing. Where's selected come from? That comes from here, is selected, and so on. And then we've got this clip thing, and that comes from here. So it feels like we need to ask the viewer. Let me is viewer. Okay. Allow what? Allow row. See, deleting a row might be okay for some people, and insertion not okay. Do we want to expand the API so we don't have to change it again in the future? Probably is a good idea, I suppose. Row insertions. I suppose we can just call this directly. And then I don't have to think of a name. Yay, fewer names. So we're going to do that. And we're going to do this. Seems reasonable. Okay, so the viewer API is here. I don't know why the AI is coming up with this bit. True. So as not to break it for everybody else that saw it. Insertations. I love my brain sometimes. I don't know what goes on with it. Deletions. Let's document it. Returns if a row deletions are allowed. I mean, Sure, you know, we could create a structure and put things in it, like 2 Boolean flags, like, I don't know, but what we call that structure, and then what we call it. I'm going to go with this for now. It's fine. Okay, so what other ways are there, other than the context menu, which now won't be added, so that you can't click them, to prevent row insertions and deletions? Let's try using them first. Partially editable. Okay. Generate, that's what I'm looking for. Implement methods. These two. Bolts. No. No, thank you very much. Okay. What happens? Fix a typo. So right click, no row duplicate. But are there hotkeys? Where's the list of hotkeys? Hotkeys, action context. Where was that? Where was that list? I saw a list. Hotkeys comes from here, which comes from here, which comes from default hotkeys. Right. There, I knew it. Duplicate row. And is there a delete row? Yep, there it is. Control delete and Control Shift delete duplicate. Right. D to duplicate. Huh, that's interesting because my IDE uses Control D to duplicate a row as well. And Control delete. Oh, it doesn't delete a row. You know, it'd be funny if it was the same, wouldn't it? So we've got this UI action, delete row and duplicate row, which we need to handle somehow. Fine, there's only one place that's used, so that should be easy enough. Duplicate row. So we don't want to do any of this really. Actually, we can get. Oh, might have to check something else in a minute. I have to go back and do it. Hold on, I make a note of this. What do I need to do? I need to review first commit to see if some code is being gone when it doesn't need to be. I think it was okay, but I'm not entirely sure. There it goes. Right. Okay. We'll come back to this. Because we don't want to, you know, do any of this if we can't do this, right? So it's not just a case of not issuing the command. We just don't want to do any of this. So let's go if, is it viewer in here? Allow row insertions. Else I mean, It'd be nice if it did this, wouldn't it, in here? But, you know, it's fine. That probably fixed it. Duplicate row. And then we've got this other one. Oh, look, there's paste insert. It's got insert rows, duplicate row, delete row. If viewer sure. What other commands are there? Delete row and duplicate row. We've got this delete selection, cutting selection, moving selection. Happy days. Right. Duplicate. Let me just search the entire code base for the word duplicate. And this is another reason for using like English words instead of viewer, right? Because if I search for viewer, uppercase or lowercase, whatever, I'm not going to catch all the viewers everywhere. What's this column render config? Okay, I might have to look at that because there's a column editability config. I don't know. Maybe the row config. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, duplicate. So Control D to duplicate. That's what we're basically trying to prevent. Okay, let's see if we prevented it. So Control D. Doesn't do anything. That's good. Now, what happens if we try and do a selection cut here? You see? Yeah, we need to fix that. Okay, let's do a commit at this point. We can come back and edit it if we find other issues. It's fine. No, no, no. Yes. 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 Indentation. Okay. Yeah. Expand viewer API to conditionally prevent row insertion deletion. Fine. Dunsky. Okay. So let's have a look at that thing that we were just looking at. So apparently we can still edit these things by cutting them. That's no good. And you can press Control X to cut as well. So, you know, that's no good. This cell's not editable, so we're going to have to fix that, aren't we? And we've got this undo thing as well, which I would imagine was Control Z when I pressed it once, but oh, it's, yeah, fine. So cutting cells. So what should happen if you've got a selection that's like this and you press Control X? It shouldn't cut the things that can't be cut. That's what I think. It should probably allow you to cut this, but leave these ones alone. Let's search for that. Cut selection. Let's have a look at these first two. So if it's copy or cut, then do some stuff. Right, what was this other one? What's it doing here? Copy selection. Oh, I see, it's the same thing. Right, fine. So we're in the right place. So if it's cut, and it's delete. Selection. And what does this return? Yeah, clipboard. Oh, that's what the codec's for, look. System clipboard when codec support is active. So you can't cut and paste stuff to a clipboard unless you know how to cut and paste it into text or something, I suppose. Because the clipboard might contain, yeah, okay. What does this return then? This returns a vector of commands. Why? A vector of commands. And this basically gets the vector of commands and lets you futz around with it. Without needing to assign it to something. Try apply action. Commit, cancel, move, undo, copy, that's all fine. It was delete selection. There it is. Well, this looks more fun, doesn't it? Row slab index. CC rows. So it takes the row and the column, and then it returns what is P? I mean, What is this? Viz calls. What is a row slab index? I don't know. So it collects those into this. And then it says clear. Okay, so I think we just need to handle this. Yeah, okay. Fine. Let's have a look, see where else it's used. Yeah, don't care about that. And that's where it's adding it. So it's just this one. So confirm cell right by UI. Maybe we've duplicated some functionality here. Confirm cell right. And then the context was this thing. Paste or clear? Hold on a second. What else is this called? It's only called here. Context is here. Oh, what? I see. Retains. So if you finish and edit, because you've got to prevent editing in the first place, and then does it call CC set cells again? Oh no. Oh, we're going down the rabbit hole now, aren't we? Oh, paste in place. Yeah, okay. What else? Delete selection. What was this first one? Selection duplicate values. Paste. So I guess in the CC set cells, we use the is editable method that we added. To first delete things on here, so we don't even need to do this. Confirm cell right. We shouldn't be calling confirm cell right for a non-editable cell, is what I think should happen at this point. So if Viewer dot is editable cell row, column row. Now, in some places there's row column, and I put the API as column row because normally you use like X, Y, right? And X is across, and row column is the other way around. You go down first and then you go across. So to be consistent when you're using X or Y and rows and columns, my preferred ordering of rows and columns is column rows. For an API. Transposition errors are less likely if people standardize on X first. You know, it comes first in the alphabet, and also X is across, right? Across. 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 It's a good way of remembering it. Right, moving on. Column row, row column. So if it's editable, what's wrong with it? What are these? Oh, it's a row index, dot zero. Oops, no, dot zero, fine. Okay, so if it's an editable cell, then we do this. Otherwise, we return false. Let's see. So the idea is it's supposed to keep it in the list of things that it's supposed to retain if it's an editable cell. So if we select these three things, and press Control X. Yeah, no, that's right. I thought I got it the wrong way around then. No, I got it right. Everything's fine. So we only deleted the thing that was editable. Yes. What about selecting everything? Yes. And then, yeah, okay. So, you know, that's good, I suppose. And actually the undo redo works there. So let's see how else we can break things. Clipboard paste. You know, cut, paste. That works, but what if you try and paste here? Nothing, which is good, I suppose. Insert. I suppose we need to fix that, I suppose. Come on. Prevent row insertions via clipboard insert. Today's task is non-trivial. Okay, so one thing at a time. One thing at a time. Let's do another commit, because, you know, we fixed that. So we don't want that. We don't want that. We don't want that. We do want this. And that's it. So I suppose disable cutting, clearing. Well, I suppose it's disable clearing of non-editable cells. Okay. yeah, pasting into non-editable cells. I mean, cut, copy, paste. I think we might have done that already because of the last thing that we did and the way that it's used. Let's search for that. Paste. Oh no. Because it's using the set cells, so we fixed it. So it can't paste into the cells. And paste insert. Okay, so I think we've done that one. Maybe. We're going to give it a good shakedown. How did I break it a minute ago? So there was a clipboard insert. Copy. Paste. Yeah, this insert. Clipboard insert. Let's look for that. Oh, I've just remembered something else we're going to need to fix. Damn it. Internationalization. Of the context menus. Yeah. Where is it? Clipboard. Oh, it's there. Right. Paste insert. I was on the right money. Okay. Paste insert. This one. So what does it do? We shouldn't allow it to happen. You shouldn't have it on the context menu if the row is not editable, or if rows are not now to be inserted rather. So that's one thing. But what is going on here? Oh, I see. So if you press Shift and then like Control Shift V or something. then it's going to try and do a paste insert, which is no good. Paste in place. So we should probably just disable the hotkey. If viewer allow row insertions. Okay, that's one bit. Yeah. Yeah. That one. Clip and row insertions. That should do it, right? So if we go copy, and now when I right click, it's not there. And if I try and do Control Shift B, it doesn't do anything. So we fix that. That's good, I suppose. Right then, let's do a commit. So that one. And this one. Disable paste insert when row insertions are disabled. There we go. Does. Okay. Yep. Disable row deletion. Didn't I do that already? I think they're done. Are we done? No. Review first commit. Okay, we can review that first commit. That's fine. Was this one? Not that file. So what I was trying to find was where. Yeah, we're cloning things. Yeah, let's have a look. Let's see if we can improve this. So this is in state. Let's look for this in the current code, and this is in state. Wait, what? This one. No. This one. Oh, we've got to get rid of this. Yeah. Row value. I have a feeling that we don't need to do this here. I think we only need to do it here. Because it's used here. Why would you need to clone it? Row ID, and then the row ID is only used here. So we don't need this. And then R and C is used here. So we need this pos thing. Pos is used here, so we need that. I think we can optimize this a bit. Commit, edit, and move. I'll leave that there for a moment. We're going to delete that in a moment though. We need to remove that from the commit. Go. So we press Shift Tab. Move to non-editable cell, that's correct. Undo that one, Shift Tab. It's there. That appears to work fine. Yes. Okay, let's delete that. Okay. We need to remove that println from the thing. Hold on. Let me do a git blame on that first. So this is from commit number 0015. 0015. Okay, so I'll leave that out for now. We're going to commit that. Fix. And this is in state. Yeah. And then we're going to rebase. Yeah, we do. Draw. This is fine. We can get rid of this. Yeah. Let's stash them. Rebase. Cut this. Paste it here. And squish it. There. No one saw nothing. Okay, fine. Let's just search for println. This is good. It's not finding any. Okay. Are we done? Let's try and break it. What else might we need to do? Data table. This one. So, cut. Only cuts the thing that can be cut. Double click. Doesn't start editing. Paste. Paste over here. That's fine. Cut from there, and then paste here. Doesn't let you do it. Oh. The whole clicking off and outside thing. You need to fix this. Like if you click off it, it shouldn't stay in like editing mode. Let's see if we can fix that as well. Seeing as we're being nice. To cancel edit mode when table focus is lost. Ah! Please work. There we go. So, yeah. Because what I keep doing is like editing something over here and then clicking off the table. And in my head, that should cancel the editing. Because if you click like over here, no. Right. it feels like it should cancel it when you click on like other things. We'll have a look into this, but this might be a bit funky. Let's see. Is my search broken? My IDE is broken. Restart the IDE. No. How? Oh. What's it doing? There we go. Okay. Let's try again. It's fixed now. Yeah. Okay, so focus is what we were trying to search for. Because there's like clicked elsewhere and where's that come from? Yeah. There's another bug with this I need to fix as well. I just think I found where the bug is. Let me show you what the bug is that I'm referring to. Hold on. There's this, right? So this is the number. You click it to edit it and it's focused it, and that's actually not correct, because this isn't the type of cell that you think it is. It's one of these ones that allows you to go like this. So it should show the thing, and then when you click it, it should let you edit it. But because request focus is being called on that, it's not going into its sort of default state of being editable but not having focus like it is when it's like this. Yeah. Maybe we'll put that as a stretch goal. Fixing that today. Stretch goal, that's the term they use, isn't it? Fix focus issue for one of these number fields. They're like number entry things. Anyway, I digress. What were we trying to do before? It was focusing when you click somewhere else. Because there's a clicked. Yeah, elsewhere. Yes, exactly. Overall focus state of what response is this talking about? What is this? We have latest click. I don't know about that. What response is this? Response total. Let's see when this happens. Let's see if we can make that come out. So we click it, and then we click here. And then if we're going editing, and then we click here, this is still in edit mode. But clicked elsewhere is detected. So, yeah. But we should do something. We should cancel the edit mode. Surely. Because is it a consistent UI to have this in edit mode and then... No, it's not consistent, is it? It's no good. It's no good. Let's fix it. There's probably a command that we need to push somewhere. I don't know. Cancel edit or commit edit? I think it's probably commit edit. What happens if you're not editing and you try and commit the edit? Oh dear. Is editing and it's cancel or commit then. Let's just see what happens. So we're clicking here, and then we click here. And it's fixed. And it doesn't lose it. Oh, that's better, isn't it? Yeah, it's been like that. Okay, fine, done. Can we go? I've lost where I was doing it now. 778. Okay, can we go if self.is? No. Hold on. What is this? What is this on? This is on UI state. S.is. Ah, there it is. There we go. That, I think, is what we want. Commit the edit when clicking outside of the table. Sure. Done. What else is on my list? Okay, so cancel it. Right. Let's run my other example. This one. Wait, what happened there? I ran the wrong thing. At least the test still passed. I didn't see there were actually any tests. That's good. I mean, so I'm clicking here, and now I'm clicking here. Ah, there we go. That's just, yeah. Okay, what about if we click here and click up here? Yeah. It's better than it was. Can I live with it? Yeah, probably. Probably. I think we're done. I think it's done. Do we do 2 pull requests? I think there should be 2 pull requests at this point. It was just going to be 1, but we fixed something else as well that's unrelated. So let's create another checkout-b MakerPnP. So first create a branch where I was, and then check out the partially editable one, and then create a new branch. Cancel focus, cancel, or commit edit on clicking elsewhere 1. Rebase on master interactively, please, and then delete those. Okay. Now we'll stick this on my repo. Okay. Rebase this one, delete this commit, and then push this one. Thus, and make some pull requests. Let's go. So, I've not done the undo redo bit. I'm not sure about the undo redo. Maybe the undo redo is okay. Okay, fine. Pull requests. Let's create one. Partially editable. Well, okay. Let's copy and paste the. Let's copy and paste this list. To include 3 new methods on the viewer trait. What are these 3 new methods that we added? What are they? Viewer. Is editable cell this one? With these additions, the following occurs. Find it can be achieved. Yeah. See. Oh no, we've got issues. To the production app that necessitated these changes. Yeah. Let's do a little video as well. Why not? Right. So, video. This one. Make this a bit smaller. New. Blah de blah. Turn the mic on. Sure. Quick demonstration of partially editable. So, when you right click, you can't duplicate or insert rows. If you try and cut all these, only the third column, column 2, is editable. So when you try and cut these using Control X, it only cuts the data from the last cell. If you try and copy this cell and paste it, nothing happens. If you try and copy this cell and paste it, it works. If you're editing and then you you press Shift Tab to go to a move, it commits that and starts the next thing, which is what it's supposed to do. Pressing Control D to duplicate does nothing. Pressing Control Shift Delete only deletes the fields that are allowed to be deleted. And that's basically it. Enjoy. There we go. So we've got that. Video. What happened? Copy, I said. Paste? No. Save. There we go. Yeah, create pull request. Job's a good one. All right, next pull request. Yep. This one. Yeah. Okay. So let's do a video demo on this one as well. Let's use the right branch though. And switch back to this. Wait, that's the wrong one. This one. Run the demo. Go. So let's do the video here. Do this. Let's do 2 videos, before and after. Okay. So, after this commit is applied, the change is applied, when you're editing something and then you click somewhere else, it finishes it. Ta-da! Save that. Find this. Get rid of this. Run it again. And then record another video. Without this change, when you're editing something over here, and then you click somewhere else, it keeps this in edit mode. Which feels a bit weird. And you have to sort of like click somewhere else to cancel it. It's weird. Okay. Go back to this. Thus. Yeah. IMHO, this improves usability of the table. Review simples. There we go. Right, now let's see what happens if we use these things for real. So we need to fork this again. But it's got to go in this one. Create fork. And then we need a URL. And then we'll push the branch called MakerPnP that we created earlier, which has got all of the changes. And then what we're going to do is go back to the MakerPnP project, find our dependency, and make it use a specific commit. Bit like this one. What is this? What's the name of the repo? Oh, it's got dashes in it. Sure. It's not that commit though, is it? It's this one. No, it's not. Sure. That one. That's what we want. Bloink. Then, I suppose, we can refresh this. Then, we can go to the Parts tab. And then find our row viewer. And generate the new methods that we just added. But I wish when you press generate, it put them in the same order that they appear in the trait, or where your cursor was. But there we go. So is editable cell? So the third one is editable. If the column, well, I suppose it can just be simplified to that, really, can't it? I was going to get all fancy, but that's enough for now. False. False. Let's go. Let's see. So we're looking at parts, I think it was. Yeah. So we've got a data table. And now I can't edit this. Ah, oh, brilliant. And what happens if you try and cut? Well, I suppose. Yeah, it's good. Wait. Oh. That's okay. Probably. I mean, that one works. Oh, I know why. No, it's okay. Everything's fine. Because when I cut it, it used the default values. And the default values contains an empty vector as opposed to a vector of the things with them set to false. Okay, fine. That's in my code. It's not in the thing that we just changed. It's fine. So where we duplicate, where we create the empty one, you see, because it's taken this vector from here. You see. Yeah, and this probably doesn't need to be part with state here either. It probably just needs to be part. Okay, let's fix this up. Parts row doesn't need a part with state. It just needs a part. So let's fix the fallout from that. I suppose I can just delete these. See, it's just wholly inconsistent, this formatting thing. Like, what? Why? Oh, I see. It's because it's like. Okay, fine. Get rid of this. More errors. Part state. No. Part. Okay, that's half the problem. Okay, but this needs to come from the list of processes that are available, which we haven't done yet in this. So let's do that in this. So our viewer needs to have processes. It doesn't need to be a vector of booleans though, it just needs to be a vector of strings. And let's call it default. No, processes is fine. But we're going to have a problem with the missing field. And the idea is that we want to go self.processes dot and then what? Map this somehow? Iter map process, and then we want to return false, and then that, and then collect everything, maybe. And then we should have a missing field, yeah, somewhere. Yeah, build dynamically. Right, yeah. We need to get this from somewhere. Right, we've got this in our other thing. Let's borrow that. Partially editable. Why is it complaining about this? What? It's just confused, isn't it? IDE confusion. We're not doing very well with the IDE being confused today, are we? This is what we want, isn't it? Enabled processes. Yeah. Let's rename this thing as well, probably. Part state. Oh. Can we? Yeah, we can just move it, can't we? Because we're draining. Yeah. Yeah. Let's change this to be a hash map, like we did in the other one, of string bool. And then we're going to have to fix this like we did before. Then what? Well, we know why we need to implement it now. I suppose we can. And this is always false. We'll get rid of this because we changed it. Probably. Why does it? What? Okay, we'll come back to that one. Hashmark string ball processes. Oh yeah. No. We need to get this from somewhere else. But this should just be the strings here now. To do get this from somewhere. Don't build here. It's in the view somewhere that we're retrieving from the back end, but you know. Process. Yeah, I suppose so. That's what they're going to be. Process. Yeah. There. Yeah. Needs to be that. Because it's a process name structure, not a basic string like the other one. Unwrap that. Okay. Can we? Apparently. Not sure whether that was correct, but we'll find out. Checkbox, enable name clone. No, this is name and this is enabled. Let's see what happens now. Because when I cut it, we had the problem basically, didn't we? Let's see if we fix that. So parts. Broken it. Well, I fixed one thing and broke another. Why is the list of processes for each part not present? What did we do wrong? That's a bit funky. Why didn't that work? Enable processes. That seems odd. We take the processes. Oh. It's a case sensitive issue. Case sensitivity. There we go. Manual. So now we click, and we can pick PnP. Okay, and if we cut it, which was what the problem was before, we go cut. Right, and then when we edited it, why is it still broken? What's it doing? Eh? Eh? Pretty sure. That's a bit odd. Let's. I don't initially see what the problem is there. So we go cut. Right, enabled processes. Why is this size 0? Is it because I forgot to set the list of processes? It probably is, isn't it? Oh, it's because, yeah, because it shouldn't have default there now. I was looking for that earlier. I'm like, I was expecting to find like an error message that was, not all fields have been initialized. And I forgot to come back and check. So, yeah. We're supposed to be going new with the processes. Yeah. Like that. Oh. No, which one do we change? Do we make them all strings? Do we make these process names? We don't really. Let's make them all process names so that it's more obvious. And then we're going to deal with the fallout. Enable processes. No. Right, this is going to be better now. Look here, like this. What's wrong with that? Yeah. Hash is not set. Oh, process name needs hash on it. Fine. I guess that makes sense. What's the problem here? Yes. It's not a name anymore. It needs to be
toString. I think that should fix it. I think it should be okay now. And then I think we're about done. Well, I've been going quite a while today. But let's see if it works. It's going to be lunchtime in a minute for me. All right, here we go. So we're going to cut this and then we're going to click it. Yes, it's fixed now. Okay, so we've got a partially editable data view. But the problem is, it's still in English, and it's supposed to be in Spanish now, like all the other things. No. Oh. So I guess I'm going to do that this afternoon, and well, we'll see where we get to. But you know, oh, that's the other thing I want to do as well. Let me show you what else I want to do. Here we go. So, I mean, this is good. Let's do a work in progress on this. Whip. I'll come back to that. Right. But I was umming and ahhing about not using egui data tables. But really, I don't want to maintain all the data table code myself when something that's very similar to it exists but isn't quite there. But in the processes of attempting stuff, no, this one, I created a table with an edit in place field on it, just to see what happens. I never finished it, but you know, I learned some stuff along the way. So this isn't using the data table anymore. This is using an egui tables table, I think. Actually, no, it might be using the egui extras table. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. The point is the cells. So here is an example of an edit in place field. So you single click it and you can type into it. You can't type into it because I haven't done the state update in the back end. But don't worry about that. The point is that you can click on things to edit them. And you can click off and it goes away. Right? So I did that, and that's my code. What I also did, is it in this? Oh. No, it's in my other example. What I also did was, is it this? I think it's this. Yeah. What I also did was borrowed the sort indicators from the egui data tables crate and added them to this egui tables table, which is what this one is, because the egui tables table has better defaults when you've got lots of columns, as opposed to the egui extras one, where it doesn't take up the whole width of the window and the columns aren't sized well. And it's worse when you're trying to use it on this. Trust me, I tried. But the point is, on my list of things to do, is you see how the sort indicator is on the right and the label is on the left. And there's no blank space on the left of the column header. It's way better, right? So let's go back to what we were just looking at, which was the try egui what's his face branch. I've been doing a lot of work with tables the last few days. More than I ever thought I would. Right? So if you compare what it looked like a moment ago, where the sort indicators are on the right-hand side, okay, versus the egui data tables as they are now, you've got this gap on the left-hand side next to where it says manufacturer. And then when you click it, it goes on the left. It's like, no. I'm going to fix that as well. Let's put it in my list. move sort indicator to the right of the column header because it's better. Now, I am aware that in the world there are right to left languages and left to right languages. But as it is at the moment, it's on the left as it is. So it's broken now anyway. So when I change it, it'll still be broken if you're using a right to left language. But you know, there we are. Right. So we made progress today. This is good. There's progress. We've got a data table. It's usable in the app now. Except that it's not. Because what's happening is when you're clicking on this, it's editing it in place. But what actually needs to happen is that it sends a request to the back end to change the data. So somehow I need to hook into the system that changed cells and so on in memory, and then say, send this changed data to the back end, or like some data was changed. Here are the cell references and things like that. I don't know how I'm going to do that yet, but you know, that's next on the list as well. Like, yeah. One step at a time though, eh? One step at a time. So yeah, so if you like the video, give me a thumbs up below. Thanks. And just remember folks, it's only software. How hard can it be? We'll find out on the next one. Bye.